I'm a little confused because this almost sounds like a different kind of viewpoint discrimination. And under our strict scrutiny standards, we're not supposed to discriminate on the basis of viewpoint or discriminate on the basis of religion. They're considered as sacrosanct, I believe, as race. And yet what you're suggesting is that the viewpoint that somehow being a minority that overcomes discrimination in the way you define it as important, as overcoming obstacles, that's okay. But if you're a black person who's from an affluent family, who may be the only class president ever in a white school's history, that fact shouldn't feature. That's a form of viewpoint discrimination, isn't it?
I don't think we're saying
that's not overcoming any kind of obstacle?
We're not saying that universities have to consider anything or nothing. Universities just cannot consider race itself.
But I thought you were saying that both of those essays might be entirely appropriate for the university to consider. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or did I misunderstand what you were saying?
No, there is no federal statute about what essays universities consider. There's a federal ban on consideration of race itself.
So why is it? Are you just objecting to touching a box that admissions officers can look at?
We're objecting to the use of race as either a plus or a minus in making
But I don't
admissions
think
decisions.
I think the district court made very clear findings that checking the box alone is not what got anybody in. That it was a holistic enterprise that looked at everything that candidate did, and race might have been one among many factors. Because there's a lot of Hispanics and blacks who have higher GPAs than many whites who don't get admitted. So they're not looking at just being black and white. They're rejecting a lot of the 10% applicants who have higher numbers than, I guess, whites and Asian Americans.
Your Honor, there's a finding from the district court in our favor at page 116 of the petition appendix that Harvard can award a racial preference based on the checkbox alone, whether or not an applicant writes about it or otherwise indicates that it's important to them. And that is important. That's race itself.
That finding was made in an undisputed finding by the district court that race alone did not account for any one admissions package, that it was race among many factors.
Well, the district court found that race is determinative for 45% of blacks and Hispanics who get into Harvard. So, yes, there's 55% who would not get in.
I'll let Mr. Waxman debate that, because that's not the way I saw that record. It was very clear that the district court found, for example, that being Asian or not being Asian wasn't involved statistically in any of the admissions, whether for ADLCs or for non-ADLCs.
Well, I just want to be clear. The 45% number is when race is determinative for blacks and Hispanics. That's the number of applicants who it's determinative for. Our number was much higher. That's not my number. That's Harvard's number in their race-neutral alternatives report.